Yeah. Here we go, Dave. We're going to talk a little bit. Same thing every time. Yeah. Made in Mexico. I got great updates.
What are the updates?
I'll get into it.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's time to buckle up, hang on, and get ready for the greatest Tuesday of all time, because it's Taco Tuesday here in the historic Pink Taco Restaurant on Sunset Boulevard. It's time to get into it with Rod Duddy Rings, Mark Ice Roberts, and the one and only Davey Dave. Now, buckle up and let's get into it.
Ladies and gentlemen, live from the Tequila Room in
Pink Taco.
Pink Taco.
It's been a minute since we were here.
Yeah, that's
it's nice being back.
I've missed it here. Well,
I know.
didn't miss the chips, but
It's amazing.
I thought about that for a second. I was like, because you fast, fast back, like go back a couple of years ago. I was bartending across the street.
Is that right?
Yeah. Now I'm doing a podcast for you guys.
Right.
Taco.
You know, this place has a different energy. What I like about this place is that the tequila's all around us. People are like drinking downstairs. Everyone's screaming and having a good time. Music.
Yeah.
You walk out onto the strip, you got that turn where you got all the billboards, which are now all owned by Netflix.
Yes. Yes.
Which our guest today was in one of those movies.
Really?
Yeah. That was nominated for an Oscar.
Yeah. I didn't look at it that way. That as a goal as a kid, the Academy Awards being, even though my face made it in for a couple of seconds, I still think about that. Like,
Yeah.
It's like up for like 10 Academy Awards.
We interviewed Joseph Middleton recently.
Yeah, last week.
And one thing I didn't mention as a filmmaker is that the reason that it was so valuable to me to work with Joseph Middleton on my movies was that Joseph was at such a high level that when you did an indie with him, he didn't lose all those contacts, right? He still called his contacts at William Morris, CAA, UTA. All of these doors were open because it was Joseph Middleton. And you know that he would do our indie, but he'd be doing the Bourne Identity next. Because as a young filmmaker, to work with a casting director that has open doors like that.
Oh, right.
For talent that normally would only work on big movies, all of a sudden they're like, oh, Joseph's doing that? When we did Strangers with Candy, Philip Seymour Hoffman was on there, Allison Janney, Stephen Colbert, Sarah Jessica Parker, Matthew Broderick, all worked for a pittance.
I respect that, because when it's always about the work coming first, and if it's a good project, people do want to work, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
I think so. Yeah. So, if you're a young filmmaker wondering, hey, will a casting director make a difference to the type of cast I'll get in my movie? Personally, I think yes.
Absolutely.
Work with a bigger casting director that's willing to come down and work on your movie because he likes the material, and he'll have open doors to bigger talent that may or may not do the film, but at least you'll have an opportunity for them to meet your director, and they'll come in for Joseph. They'll be like, oh yeah, Joseph's doing it, I'll go in. If you're doing an indie, try to get some big people around you that will help you attract other people. Yeah, that might do it for a price. Yeah. All right, introduce our guest.
Our guest I met on the set of Mobtown. He played Carmine Gigante. It's funny because when I first read the script, I was like, damn, this is going to be a good role.
Galante.
That's right.
Gigante was the chin.
That's right. Oh, that's right. My bad.
But you know what? It still has a vowel at the end, so I know it confuses people. Gigante, Galante, sounds the same.
It does. And since then, we became buddies. And he's a badass actor and filmmaker.
Well, thank you.
Yeah. And he's from Queens, representing Queens.
That's right. Queens represent.
Gino Cafarelli. Pronounce it right?
Cafarelli.
I'm fucking it all up today.
That's okay. You know what? They fucked my name up the whole time I was growing up going to school.
Are you related to Gino Zeffirelli?
No, but you know what? There's a Brad Cafarelli who's a big publicist.
Really?
Yeah. Cafarelli, it was Neiman, Cafarelli, and I don't know. It's a big PR guy out here. I would always get that every once in a while, but
you use it. I would use it. You keep fucking with me. I'm gonna call my uncle.
Yeah, right. Yeah, no, he's a big PR guy. He reps some like some big actors. I don't know if he's still doing it, but I know he's still around.
What inspired you to get into the business? Were you young watching movies? Was there a certain character? Was there what got you excited?
I got to Ray Sharkey. Great man, the Idol maker. Nice. There you go. You know what's crazy is that you would never think this, but I mean I love comedy, and I would never get casted in comedy ever.
Why?
I don't know. It's like growing up, I was always kind of like the Kevin James character. I didn't do stand up, but I was always funny.
Yeah.
I did stand up in high school in front of my friends and my classmates, and I would get up and I would host events. So I was a comedian, kind of like hosting like parties but never went into the stand up comedy world, and I loved comedy.
Yeah.
Long story short, I was inspired by Jackie Gleason, the great one, watching The Honeymooners as a kid. Like, I was inspired by this guy who was on television making my parents, who were from the old country, like, if you can make like immigrant, like old school parents
Laugh.
who didn't speak really, hardly spoke any English and just understood English a little bit.
Yeah.
And this was like the 70s and 80s. I mean, the Honeymooners were in the 50s, but they would have them on rerun.
Right.
I would see this when I was in the room, watching the Honeymooners with my mother and father, and again, they were just laughing their asses off. And I'm like, who is this guy? And I was just inspired by Jackie Gleason, this entertainer. And believe it or not, that's kind of opened my eyes into the TV and film world, and then saw him in movies.
That's what I want to do.
Smokey and the Bandit. Yeah, I was I wanted to do that. But of course, as I got a little older, when I was 16, 17, guys like De Niro and Pacino, the real hardcore, Dustin Hoffman, the guys who went to the actor's studio and studied with Lee Strasberg, and these hardcore character actors that's what really kind of really started sniffing around. What does it take? What does it take to be an actor? You have to have some type of talent, but you also have to have the love of watching what's going on.
You can put them
whether it be
here.
Theater, film, or TV.
Yeah, absolutely.
Thank you very much.
Nice.
And I gotta say,
Modelo.
speaking of Jackie Gleason, man, that's one of my favorite musicians of all time.
Jackie Gleason.
Yes.
He's. I mean,
his music is incredible.
Yeah. An actual song that Jackie Gleason did is in The Irishman.
Really?
Yeah. That scene when they go to Florida and it's Tony Pro. You've seen the movie,
Yeah,
of course,
of course.
right?
10 minutes, 15.
Yeah, Tony Pro is in the room with Hoffa's waiting for Tony Pro.
Yeah.
He's with De Niro, and they're waiting for Provenzano to show up.
Yeah.
Right before they show them sitting down, they play this song, and it's Jackie Gleason's symphony.
Yeah, it's I think it is
Yeah.
actually.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
That is awesome.
And you would never know.
Yeah. That's my favorite scene, by the way. What are you doing, Robert?
You're not in it.
All right.
Anyhow, but his music is banging, man. That's
Really?
Yeah.
See, I had no idea. He was,
Listen to Jackie Gleason
Salute.
music for lovers only, and you'll thank me later.
Yeah. Salute.
Salute.
Cheers, guys.
We got
Cheers.
beers and tequila.
Good to see you guys
so-
again. Thanks for having me on.
Yeah. Thanks for coming, Gino.
Did anyone see the live version of All in the Family?
I did.
Okay.
I saw the first. They did it a few times, 2 times already, right?
I don't know.
I think they did it twice.
I saw
But
one
I saw
of them.
the first one.
But now that you're talking about the Honeymooners, Jackie Gleason, I have to say that watching that, you start to realize how great they were. Because I'm not taking anything away from Marissa Tomei or from Woody Harrelson,
No.
but
It's a different type of
and
talent.
they were great.
Yeah.
That's
but,
like vaudeville.
But
talent.
you start thinking about how great Jackie Gleason was and how the timing that those guys had together.
The Brad Garrett movie where he played Gleason. Brad Garrett.
I feel
from
like I did.
Everybody loves.
He was great
Did you
too,
see
though,
it?
right? Was he
Yeah,
great?
I
He was
saw it.
excellent. Brad Garrett was great as Jackie Gleason.
Really?
Yeah.
And again, when I saw that movie, at the beginning of that movie, young Jackie Gleason was watching a show with his dad. And what inspired, I guess, Jackie Gleason to be an entertainer was not because of ego or look at me and I want to be famous, but he was watching people on the stage making people laugh in the crowd, and he would look around the crowd as a kid and be like, that's what I want to do. I want to I want people to feel good. I want people to laugh. Those people on that stage are making people like us feel like that, and watching people around, I'm like, that's why he wanted to be an entertainer.
Yeah.
Not for no ego reason. And that's why I wanted to do it. I wanted to tell stories or be involved with stories that needed to be told. And
It's neat to live in a time when you can almost touch when film started, when TV started, you know?
from the silent era to
Yeah.
when talkie, they called them what, talkies?
Talkies,
So
yeah.
like
So he's doing a
20s?
film.
Wasn't it 20, early
Yeah.
20s?
Think about this. I was a tour guide at Universal Studios, and one of the things that we would talk about is we'd come to 5 Points, Texas.
Yeah.
And in 5 Points, Texas,
What does that mean? I don't know what
I'm going to tell you.
Okay.
There was 5 different streets that met up in the middle.
On the back lot.
On the back lot. And back in the day, Carl Lemley, who owned the studio, would charge 5 cents for you to come in, and there was bleachers, and you could cheer for the bad guys or cheer for the good guys because there was no sound. So all 5 corners, you could have a movie shooting, and you can be charging admission, and that was the business. Then they started recording sound, and one of the first things that happened is that you were like, shh, everyone had to be quiet. And they were like, no one wanted to stay now. No one wanted to come to the studio to pay 5 cents to be shushed.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, you had to be quiet now.
Holler.
Right. So there was There was a time in film where the evolution was huge. Right. It went from you weren't talking, it was black and white, to okay, there's sound now, and all of a sudden there's color and Technicolor, and there was an explosion, and I think we're going through it now. In a weird way. Not necessarily with technology, because I can remember back when I was watching television and there was the HD thing, and then you couldn't, and then there was channels that weren't HD.
Yeah.
That was recent.
Yeah, no, that was...
That drove me crazy.
They put the Honeymooners on HD, on a Blu-ray or HD, and I just was curious because I was a huge Honeymooners fan, and I bought it. It was horrible. I liked it with the old school look. I couldn't watch it like that. I'm like, I don't want to see what's on the icebox. It didn't look the same. It didn't remind me of my childhood. Right. Why I fell in love with TV or why I fell in love with Jackie
Things
Gleason.
are changing. I don't want to bring us down. I want to be
Quit bringing us down.
I want to be
Roberts.
inspirational. But look,
you brought me down when you watched my movie the other day. Actually, you had some good comments.
Actually, let's talk about that real quick. So I watched your movie.
20 minutes.
20 minutes of it.
Yeah.
It was entertaining. You were good in it. Your characters was good in it. Weiser was amazing in it.
He was pretty good. I did see that part. He was cool.
And I didn't get to Lilo yet, but I was very impressed with what you had done. I do think it needs a tightening, and maybe some overlapping stuff, and maybe get rid of some bad performances by reversing the shot. Yeah. But I thought it was terrific. I can't wait to watch the rest of it. I think it's going to be very impressive.
Yeah. So Pete watched it. I talked to Pete.
Pete who?
Pete Sepnick.
Ladies and gentlemen.
Pete
Sepnick.
He loved it. He was like, dude, it was
He's going to listen to this. Did he love it, or did he just like it a little bit?
No, he loved it. He told me, I sent you the thing. God, such a dick, this guy. You're like, I love you. I'd punch you in the face. No, he really liked it, and he had some notes, obviously, but not much, and he thought it was great. He thought look, 7 days I shot that movie in. 7 fucking days. Okay, I should have had more than that.
Stop.
Why?
Cut it out. Don't make excuses. It's a
good
little movie.
It is a good little movie.
I couldn't have told you that it was 7 days. So
how many pages in 7 days?
Yeah, you're downplaying yourself here.
7 days. I shot probably 80 pages.
Wow. That's yeah, right there.
Yeah.
Enough said. Like who can if you can do that, that's it. You did what you did.
Yeah, and we moved. Props. It wasn't like because Mike Hermosa, who's another filmmaker, he's going to help me tighten it up. He's an editor director. He liked it, he was saying, because we constantly move. Like a lot of indies, it's minimal locations, and there's these long monologues, and they're trying to, they're forcing it. Mine was, you're in one location, I got my point, and then I moved on to the next location. And the locations play a part in the story.
Personally, I think you should go to Dan Tibbetts at El Rey and say, here's my movie.
Yeah.
I made it for $10,000. It's what you guys are about. And by the way, it's... I don't know. I don't want to go overboard here, but it's as good or better.
Oh, here we go.
Than what they've been doing with their movies. The movies that they're making for $7,000.
And you haven't even gotten to the meat of it, Robert. You haven't got into Lilo's character as Ochoa and all that.
Man, he's so good.
I don't need to.
Good.
If it gets good, if it's already that good, I'm sure it's going to be great.
Wow, coming from Roberts,
it's going to be exciting, bro.
So let's just say. Can we invite people that listen to the podcast to the screening? Maybe,
yeah. When we do the premiere here around 5
we'll open up some lines somewhere where they can.
Nice. That's really cool. Marketing.
We'll invite
very nice,
20 people. 20 seats. Open up 20 seats.
20 seats.
Right.
I got to talk to you
because we do have 1,000 listeners. So
am I already should I already kind of put in my head that I'm coming out here May 5th?
Yeah, kind of look at
get the list together.
I'm gonna get the list together.
I'd be down for that.
You got to walk the carpet.
Don't make the mistake I made. Don't make the mistake I made with Chris Pratt. Fly him out.
Oh no, I'm flying him out.
Fly him out, put him up.
That's what's up.
Fly him out, put him up. Let me ask you guys something.
Talk to me.
We've been on the podcast. We've done 40 episodes. A lot of the
40.
successful people have amazing stories. I'm going to give you an example. Antoine Fisher was a security guard at Sony. Pitched a story, wrote the script, got paid. Denzel directed the movie, and then he became $1 million writer.
Right.
Tommy Harper,
Basketball coach.
PA. He went from PA
Well, first
to
was the basketball coach.
right to executive producer of
Star Wars.
Star Wars and Top Gun Maverick. But you talk to so many people. Joseph Middleton, from Georgia, gets PAs on Mississippi Burning, and then quickly becomes a casting director of note.
Yeah.
It just seems like the successful people know what they're doing, know where they're going, and get there fairly quickly. I don't know if is it just a podcast, or are there other stories about people that struggle, and then finally make it? Like, I haven't heard that one yet.
No, I don't think so. I think the struggle is a part of it, because if you think about it, if you hit it right off the bat, you don't know what it's like. There's success, and then you're back at 0, and you don't know how to get back up to 10, right?
I've always followed not always, but I'd say in the last couple of years, my definition of success is if you're progressively moving in the direction you're supposed to be moving into. So if you're every year progressively moving in that direction, you're a success.
Right.
So I've worked with some incredible actors, I've worked with some incredible directors, producers. For me, you're gradually, going up that ladder. I don't want to say ladder of success, but if you're gradually going in the same direction, you're a success.
I mean, I think we all agree. If you're feeding your family with show business, it's successful, right? It's a successful thing.
No doubt.
Yeah, absolutely. It's funny because Made in Mexico, David Davis taking a selfie. What's up? That's actually something. You'll love at the end of Made in Mexico what the theme is. It's about that. It's about being rich, being wealthy, being famous, and it's not what you think. It's not like when I say that. It's a lesson learned that my character Joe has to go through. And Ochoa, the drug lord, kind of like he's like who's the guy from Star Wars that's like the guy who foresees
Jar Jar Binks?
No, not Jar Jar Binks. Fool. What's the guy? Obi-Wan Kenobi. He's like Obi-Wan. He tells him what's going to happen.
Baby Yoda?
No, not Baby Yoda. That's you if you were in the movie. Roberts could have had a part. I offered him a part.
Baby Yoda's up for an Emmy, I think, at one point, right?
He's
been all over the place.
Killed it. But anyways, it's all about that, the meaning behind the story.
Real talk. Here's the thing.
Real talk.
I was at Sundance. Our guest was at Sundance.
It's like the Disneyland of filmmakers.
In 2005, Stranger with Candy was at Sundance. I had David Letterman was the guy who invested in the movie. He was my executive producer. All of these super cool stars were in it. I just want to paint the picture because for me, I was like, this is it. I'm going to come out of here, Sundance, and I'm going to have offers, and people are going to want me to produce their movies, and they're going to see what happened here and how people that got involved, and I was part of this great movement to make a movie that people have recognized. And nothing happened. Like, literally nothing happened. And
well, you got a good job, bud. Did you get any of those?
By myself.
What year is Sundance?
05. And here's why I wanted to mention this. It wasn't that things didn't progress, because I did do Danica next. I did do another 2 or 3 movies, and I easily raised
a lot of money.
The most money I had ever raised.
Yeah. So it did help you.
So there was success, but in my mind, I was like, there should be a golden ticket. There should be some door should open where I get to walk through,
what you're saying.
Where they give me a bottle of champagne and they're like, "Come in, this is a successful room. You've made it." So I guess my point is you can't look at the end point of your career and say, "Oh, my expectation is the end. Is the end. My expectation is where success is at," because it really isn't. It's not. There's no one's going to open the door. No one's going to offer you a free ride. No one's going to say, "Here's a checkbook." No one's going to change your life. Your life is going to look exactly the way it does. In success,
I always compare it to baseball too. I feel like I've hit some great triples, and like an inside the park homer, but I want that fucking grand slam. Like I want the grand slam, and I know
is the grand slam in your expectation, or is it a real thing? Like, what does that look like?
Well, in the last couple of years, I listen to mentors online. I've been through like these seminars, and I'm like big on the law of attraction, but it just goes deeper than that, and I just. Again, whatever your mind can believe will achieve. Like I'm all into that stuff. I know I will get like some accolade or award, and it's not because of the awards is why I'm doing it, but I just want to be like in that room, like
What does it get? But what
like
does
in
it
that
get
room,
you?
like oh my god, you made such an incredible project. Come here, like I look up the guys like Tarantino, and I got a great Tarantino story, Coffee Bean Down the Block, which you ask me about it. It's a great story, but. The Grand Slam is feeling like you're in that room with like, you created a piece. I know you always like creating art, creating your work. And you're proud of your work. But you always want to be that like next person next to that next person and be like, you want someone like, give them that pat on the back. Like when Tarantino did say he saw me in a film, oh, you were great in that. I walked away. I wanted to faint or I wanted to like cry.
Wow, that's pretty good.
I was like, like not knowing that he was going to say that, or when you think like people are not watching, they're watching.
Yeah.
So like that to me, like just hearing that, was like is why I was like, all right, so because it is about the work,
right?
Getting back to The Irishman, I worked on it for 2 weeks because it was a continuous shot in the film and it was a long scene. It was scenes with Pacino and De Niro and then De Niro and it was like a long scene. I had to be in that shot or be in that scene for like almost 2 weeks. So I got to work with these guys for 2 weeks. But again, people don't realize that I'm on it for 2 weeks, even though I'm in it for a couple of seconds, or I'm like doing a photo op with De Niro in another scene.
Yeah.
Like I was still working with these legends on a days for like 2 weeks.
Right.
And at the last day, I was going to pinch myself and I said, "Are you fucking kidding me?"
Yeah.
Like Pacino's been on my left and De Niro's been on my right the whole time, and I'm looking into the crowd. My best friend who's working on the film, Catherine Narducci, is Joe Pesci's wife, and then all these other actors that are there. And I'm like, this is the dream come true as an actor. Dreaming as a kid to wanted to do this.
Well, that's kind of like that.
For
room,
me,
then.
that was the
That's the
success.
room.
That was the room.
That's the room right
that
there.
was the room. But I was like, but I want so much more. Like, I want to act in this film, Marty. But in order to get that, I had to go through putting a self-tape together, reading the book, doing a self-tape, writing out a monologue from the book. I wrote a monologue. Submitted to the agent that I was working with. The agent submitted it to Ellen Lewis, the casting director. She saw it, loved it. Then she shows Marty. He loved it. Then she's like, well, we have to bring him in and I want to work with him in the room. To going in the room and going back like 3 times and waiting like 6 months to find out I got the role. That has no lines.
Right.
People don't realize that that's what it took to get that job.
Right.
Wow.
It wasn't like, because I knew someone or like there were thousands of actors that wanted to read for Ellen Lewis. You got to put in the work.
Yeah,
that was it. So when at that last day that I was on set, like there was the last day of that scene that they were shooting, I was looking around, I was like, all right, you wanted more. And even when the movie came out, I was like, I wanted so much more. But then I just sit back and I think, that will never happen again. Like that, a caliber of like actors in one room. I don't think I'll ever see that. I would hope to, knock on wood, but
you might.
It was incredible to just watch.
But there's
and be involved and a part of.
You want to do it for free? You want to be an extra? Sure. Like I was telling like kids that younger actors that wanted to act or like be in the business. I said I could show you how to get into the casting director that's casting his background, like just to be on that set. If like I was 16 and someone asked me, hey, you want to be like do background like as an actor like on The Irishman, I would have jumped on that opportunity.
Yeah. You would have slept in your car.
I would have jumped on it. So
it's a great way to learn the process. That way,
absolutely,
just being on set.
It was just incredible just to watch.
And this is the second time working with Marty because you worked with him on Boardwalk.
Well,
so,
but he was an EP on that, but I never got to meet him.
He wasn't on set.
He wasn't on set. Oh. But it was still, again, I look back and I go, yeah, he was an EP on that show
because he works with a lot of the same guys. I've noticed Stephen Graham.
Yeah,
well,
because he was in Gangs of New York.
Yeah, and Boardwalk.
Yeah.
Oh, he was in Gangs of New York.
Yeah, he was.
Too.
Yeah.
That's right. That's
Yeah,
right.
Stephen, which incredible. Stephen Graham's an incredible actor, man.
I gotta say,
was
he
good.
fucking to me
He stole the
that
movie.
movie.
He stole the movie.
Yeah, he's English. He's not even. Yeah, Pesci told him. I was reading that Pesci told him that they were going out, and Pesci said he was talking normally. He says, "Talk like your
And he's
character."
a great,
I can't understand.
nice, nice guy too. And then I
hilarious.
get to see him like months later on the set of Fonzo because he's friends with Tom Hardy.
Is he really?
Yeah, he's like best friends with Tom Hardy,
Yeah,
and
so-
it was like I was like a little weird. I was weirded out. I'm
That's
like,
fucking
all right, Tom
crazy.
Hardy's playing the new Al Capone, and you played Al Capone on Boardwalk. I'm saying to myself,
Yeah.
I was
and
like,
you're both
you know,
English.
Yeah, I was like,
The fuck's going on here?
Crazy.
You got to put in the work.
You know,
You got to
without
put in the work. I got to
then-
put in the work. And what's crazy is that I was like, I'm gonna put the work in. I'm gonna read the book, and then I'm gonna write a monologue. And like, you wrote the monologue from a book. Like, I took a character out of the book, and I'm like, if this guy was talking in a monologue, what would he say? And I wrote this whole monologue. So I was like, you know what? I'm like, I don't care what people are gonna think. It's different. It's a little out of the box. You're writing a monologue. You read the book. Now you got to do the tape. Then you got to hope that the tape gets to the casting director. But if you stop it like, oh, the tape will never get to the casting director, you're self-sabotaging yourself, and you're saying pretty much, like, it's never going to get there, then it's never going to get there. You're right.
That's
it's never
true.
going to get it. Take that, take that shot. Take that shot. So,
You got to. And when I think, like, you got to put in the work. You got to do the extra work.
Yeah.
You got to do, like, the bit parts.
But it is a process. Though.
It's a
don't
huge
get it.
process because you have to work. Like, Gino's done a bunch of work. You did a bunch of work leading up to The Irishman. So
Yes,
you were in that work.
yes.
You were in that room because you deserved to be in that room, not because you got lucky.
Yes.
Because you deserved to be
well,
there.
we
from
were
the-
talking about earlier about, like, I got my SAG card from The Sopranos. But I was taking acting classes at the time, and I started getting back into the, again, the work of it because I was doing murder mysteries in like the 90s.
So let me stop you
Yeah,
for a
go
second.
ahead.
So we talked about you watched Jackie Gleason, you watched The Honeymooners. At some point in your young life, you said, this is what I want to do. So before you got your SAG card, somewhere in between there, what were you doing? What were you thinking? How were you figuring it out?
All right, so so in 1987, I'm a senior in high school, and I get into the most prestigious schools. I get into for pre-med at Stony Brook.
What?
Yeah.
I get into the pharmacy program at St. John's University, and I was in the National Honor Society in high school. I was the Guido, with all the nerds, but I had the grades. So I decided to go to St. John's because I didn't want to go out to Stony Brook. I didn't want to live there in the dorms, and I didn't want to do pre-med. I didn't want to be a doctor, but if I really wanted to, I could have applied and did it.
Yeah.
I wound up going. I'm like, what's next to being a doctor? I'm like, all right, I made the pharmacy program at St. John's, and I wound up going to St. John's in the pharmacy program for almost 2 years, and I'm like, what the fuck am I doing? What am I doing?
That's tough.
I was not taking it serious. I was like, what am I doing? And I always had that acting bug in the back of my head, and I'm like, you know what? So I wind up switching my credits over to the business degree, and I'm like, I'm just gonna get a business degree, but I'm gonna stop fucking around with some comedy stuff or doing some plays or doing some theater. So I was taking acting classes and waiting tables, and I wind up producing murder mysteries in the Catskills in the early 90s. While I stopped going to college but taking classes at night, I was waiting tables, selling cars, producing murder mysteries in the Catskills. And then that got me another gig producing murder mysteries by LaGuardia Airport, by the airport at some hotel.
And these are
So-
dinner.
Yeah, we
dinner
started
on our
we
show?
started we paid royalties. We did the female version of The Odd Couple. We did Played Against Sam.
Yeah.
Then we started hosting some comedy gigs, me and my guys and stuff. And just one thing led to another. I would always be all right, I got to finish my degree. And I was on the 10-year plan at St. John's. I graduated, got my degree in 99 because I was infatuated with getting back to the acting and the acting or just entertaining people or putting on a show or whatever. And then I got married in 99, and then again I put it on I got married, and you start hearing get a real job.
Yeah.
So I was finishing my degree, business degree. I'm I gotta work. I was conforming.
Yeah.
You conform. That was now I know conforming. I'll never do that again. I'll never conform because you want to do something if something's driving you, you gotta do that. You have to do that. So I conformed. And I'm nah, I can never be an actor or do this. But down deep inside, I knew that that's what I wanted to do.
Yeah.
I wanted to. I was born to do this. But I got married and got conformed and got a job in corporate America and worked in corporate America and like became a top salesman, working for car dealerships, selling cars, making good money, like top sales guy. But after a while, I got just tired of it. I was like, this is like, what am I doing?
Yeah.
And what did I do? After getting to a point of corporate America, I packed 2 bags, moved out to LA in 06.
Wow.
So from like early 90s doing dinner theater and murder mysteries and not really auditioning, but then auditioning around 2003, 4, like then again taking the acting classes more seriously and then going, you got to do this, like if you're going to do it, you got to take it as a business and do it professionally. Like if you're going to do it, you know, the murder mysteries help because, you know, as a younger, like working on shows, like I look back and I laugh at it because I got videotapes of like me like rehearsing with the actors and I'm like, what the fuck was I doing? But like, if you have the balls enough to do it when you're like that young, I was like 19, 20, 21.
Yeah.
You should see my tapes, dude.
Is it? Yeah. We got to post those on our.
So gradually, like all
crazy.
that stuff, then led to like a bunch of other things and some, you know.
But that's practice.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
you want to be an athlete. You got to practice.
Refining.
You know what
So
I
you
mean?
come out to LA in 06, and what starts to go down?
So I wind up meeting, just, you know, like I said, you know what, if I'm going to go to LA, because in my cubicle I had a picture of Hollywood. It was like I'm in my cubicle and I would always stare at it every morning and I'm like, I don't want to mention the company, but it was a great phone company, another phone company, because after selling cars, I sold everything under the sun, by the way.
Does it
I
rhyme
sold
with
cabinets.
Does it rhyme with Ray TNT? No, I'm kidding.
I wind up, I'm in the cubicle and I go, yeah, I'm wind up probably making like 150, 200 this year if I want to, but I'm like, what am I doing here? Like, I'm looking at, I got a picture of Hollywood in my cubicle and I'm like, I want to go there. I'm going to go. That's where I'm going to move. And I just wind up packing 2 bags. I come out here with no expectations. I said, if I'm going out to California, and as a kid, I would pick up the Ross reports and see all the addresses all the time and like Culver City and Studio City and when all the TV shows were like being filmed. I was like, I got to get out there. And I'm like, just do it. Just like pack 2 bags and just go. And that's what I wind up doing with no expectations. And I start doing the most weird, well, not weird, but like, I was doing like a bunch of like odd and end. I was like a PA on The Bachelor, or then I started bartending, or I was working for a florist shop, or I was delivering for like this florist.
Whatever you had to do.
Weird. After I like had like big corporate like sales gigs in New York, I'm like doing all this like weird odd and end shit, but I'm like, if you want to live out here, and like I was bunking with someone, so I wind up picking up a couple of gigs in New York as an actor, and I put together a reel. Well, someone says you got to put together a reel. I'm like, okay. Had the reel on VHS at that time. Give the VHS tape to someone, and he winds up converting it and telling me about YouTube. And I'm like, YouTube? I'm like, that came out in like 05, right? YouTube started in 05?
Yeah.
It's like, I'll pull it up there and I'll hashtag. He's another actor who happens to be like a little brother of mine. And props to Paul Gennaro, because he's like, you got to put your reel on YouTube. He puts the reel on YouTube, and I get a phone call 3 months later from a director in New York saying, I saw you on YouTube. You look like Patton Oswalt if it was like his cooler like brother. And I'm like, Patton Oswalt? He's like, is he a comedian? He's like, oh, he's Spence on The King of Queens. I'm like, oh yeah, I know who he is. So I'm walking around going, do I look like this guy? I go,
That's funny.
but I get people that say, yeah, you look like Patton Oswalt's brother. Like, you know, if he had a cooler brother, or like I'm a cooler brother. He's the comedian who's making all this money. He's the cooler guy. Like, I'm just, you know, I'm just getting to LA, you know, from a corporate background and wanting to act.
So what happened on the call?
Well, at first I hung up on the guy. I didn't really believe it. I thought it was one of my friends back home. It was Robert Siegel who wrote and directed the film called Big Fan, but he wrote a film called The Wrestler. But at the time, The Wrestler was not The Wrestler yet.
Great movie with Mickey Rourke and Marissa Tomei.
Yeah. He tells me about The Wrestler. I'm like, oh, that's Mickey Rourke. I'm a huge Mickey Rourke fan. I know about that movie. He goes, oh, you do? So he knew that I was kind of like a cinephile and loved movies. He goes, I'm going to send you that, and I'm going to send you a Big Fan. It was called, at the time, it was called Paul Alfiero, which was the name of the main character. He sends me both scripts. I'm like, oh, wow. I mean, I was reading scripts, but I wasn't like, again, that's 12 years ago. By now, I've read like 1,000 scripts. But I just knew that there was something special about these scripts. I'm like, wow, this guy's a great writer. And he's like, I'm like, I could be a local hire. My parents are in New York. He goes, you don't live in New York? I go, no, I live in L.A. I go, when you called me, I was walking to a bartender's job here in L.A. I was bartending in Beverly Hills. And you called me, and I said, I didn't believe that this was going down. Like, you found my number, my reel on YouTube. Like, does that happen?
That's crazy.
I said, if you tell me you're giving me the job over the phone, I said, I will stay with my parents and I'll fly myself out. I think I got paid $100 a day, maybe $150, whatever it was. And the first day I'm on set, I'm changing in a car in Staten Island, and I'm loving it.
Yeah.
Like I was like, oh, I'm filming a movie, man. This is I was one of my bigger roles at the time. It was a supporting lead role in a film that I knew was good, but I didn't know it was going to go where it was going to go. Hence,
and what happened to it?
Winds up going to Sundance a year later.
In 09.
09, yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Well, let's just stop for a sec. Congratulations on Sundance, because that does not happen to a lot of people.
No.
It's an honor.
It's an honor. It was just being there and hearing people talk about the movie. Just as a kid, I dreamt about wanting to go to Sundance.
Yeah. No, it was.
I was that's what I wanted.
It's the Disneyland for filmmakers, because you're walking up and down the streets and people are taking surveys with your movie's name on it.
Yeah.
Vote for your favorite film, and you're voting for your own movie, and you're going to parties that are about your movie, and you're going,
I want to go to Sundance.
You're going to panels where you're the person they're talking about. I mean, it's an amazing experience, but you've got to realize that there's 10,000 films made a year, and only 30 of them get into Sundance.
I know.
That's incredible.
So,
And you were there.
Congratulations.
I was there, but again, I was just taking it in. I was I'm as a kid thinking about wanting to go to these festivals, because it wasn't because for the prestige. I just knew that these festivals were about filmmakers or actors and filmmakers that just love movies.
How did the movie go off? Did people like it?
People really liked it. It got great, great feedback. It was the most talked about film that year, but it was just also a weird time to be at Sundance that year.
Yeah,
it was tough. It was tough because the crash was in 2008.
So that film comes out now, probably a little bit different.
Yes,
it's all timing
with all this.
It was bad timing. And again, I was living in LA, and I wasn't acclimated. I was here only a couple of years. I moved out in 06, so it's 09. I'm out here 3 years, and I've heard the stories of people oh yeah, they're stroking you and this and that. So I got all these agents up my ass there. They're like, you're really good, man. When you get back to LA, we got to set up a meeting. So I get back. I must have heard 12 great agents in Sundance, and then when I came back to LA, I couldn't find them.
The phones didn't work no more.
Yeah, what happened? Is it because the iPhone came out? What's up?
They switched from the Razor to the iPhone.
It's what? It's what happened, guys?
So
you
can't
lose my number.
You signed with nobody.
Nobody.
No.
Wow.
Yeah. I'm with the same guy that I was working with as an agent in LA still now.
Oh, wow.
I actually met up with him today,
You know what? I respect that, and I'm going to tell you why. Because you're a great actor, Gino. I've seen your work.
He would have jumped ship in a second, though. Are you listening to this?
No, yeah, he would. Well, no, not necessarily, but there's a lot of guys that were like that back in the day. Dean Martin kept the same guy. Dean Martin gave his guy 50%. And the guy and his agent was like, "I'm not. You're doing." He goes, "You do all the work. You took the job. I just go and have fun." But loyalty, I'm a big fan of loyalty.
I am,
and you're loyal to that guy.
Yeah, but I'm not saying I wouldn't break that.
Wait a minute.
I don't want to say that I wouldn't break the loyalty. There's something different for everybody. In order to get to that next level, I want to direct my first feature. That's an extreme goal of mine that I know I'm going to do. I don't know. I'm working on a few things. I don't know which one it's going to be, but I'm pretty confident that I'm going to do that. I've always set the bar of if I'm going to do something, I'm going to do it.
Yeah.
In order to get that, you need that management company or that, I don't want to say agent because agents for acting reasons, but you need that management company or literary company or production company that's going to go, you know what, I'm going to give you that shot to direct that feature. You need that bump. So not that I wouldn't jump ship, but if someone that knew exactly how to take my career to the next level.
Yeah.
We know that you work hard, Gino, and you've done your thing, right? But we also want to mold you and direct you in the right direction because everyone needs direction. All these accomplished actors and filmmakers out here always had a team behind them. I don't care if someone says I always did it on my own. No, you have to have that support. I'm not saying financial support. It's the support of a community, a council, a mastermind council of guys that are out to do the same thing that you're doing, set a goal. We're all going to do this.
I wanna watch your film that went to Sundance. Is there a way to find it?
Yeah, it's on iTunes, and I think it's on Tubi right now.
Tubi?
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
yeah, I think it's on Tubi.
And it's
but
called
Big Fan.
Big Fan.
Yeah, great. It was, again, not because I'm in it, like minus me being in it, and like if I saw someone else as the character that I played in the film, I would still say that's a great film.
Yeah.
Because it was well directed, well written, well edited. Like, there was great things about that film.
Yeah.
And it was a character piece. It was kind of like, when people saw Joker, they were like, Joker reminded me of Big Fan of like, because Patton Oswalt's character got obsessed with this football player. And this football player winds up kicking his ass, but still so obsessed with this football player, he doesn't want to turn him in. Like he's so obsessed with his team.
Yeah.
So it's very character driven, and I love character driven pieces. And there's moments in it that were like homages to like Taxi Driver and stuff like that. It's an incredible film.
I'm gonna check it
Robert
out.
Siegel, props to Robert Siegel. He's an incredible filmmaker and a great writer, and which led to, again, because I moved to LA. If I never moved to LA, I never meet Rob Siegel. He
Right.
never calls me on YouTube, and I don't even wind up most likely not doing my film Cruise
Right.
that
Yeah.
I wind up doing with Rob Siegel later
So-
on in years.
You do Sundance with Big Fan, and from that sparked your own project.
Yeah, we just Rob Siegel was just a huge fan of film. One of his favorite films was Saturday Night Fever. And we all loved
Great
we
movie.
we loved when we
agree.
were on set doing Big Fan, like all we did, like we were like little kids talking about movies that we
You're
loved.
gonna call me Tony, right? You're gonna call me.
We talked about movies, and like
Yeah.
when it's like being like in a playground with a bunch of kids, like but you're talking about the same thing that you love, and we
Yeah.
love movies. So we just had that kinship of like being friends and like talking movies. So we built a relationship. So when I came up with the idea of wanting to do a movie about how I grew up in Queens, I was like, well, how do I go about it? I'm like, bing, a light bulb went off. I said, well, I kind of grew up in a like cool time, like in the 80s in Queens, and our social media was like this like strip called Francis Suez Boulevard, Franny Lou, which I grew up around.
Yeah.
And it's kind of like My American Graffiti set in the 80s. And it was me getting in my car, working at the hardware store like Tony Monero.
Yeah.
I worked in the hardware section. And I mean, I went to high school, but like nights and like weekends, we'd be cruising this boulevard. And I'm like, bingo. I'm like, I was out here in LA and wind up writing a pilot. And then based on the pilot, I shot a teaser. And then I said, you know what? Robert Siegel would love this because it's kind of like has that Saturday Night Fever vibe. Looks at the teaser, reads my pilot, is like, wow, you could really write. I go, well, what do you think? He goes, well, if we're going to do this, we're going to do this as a feature. And boom. It then went from there.
So now you have that script.
The pilot winds up kind of being like an inspiration in the teaser. Winds up being an inspiration. It's like a short. I called it a short story, a pilot.
Yeah.
I was like calling it like a poor man's entourage.
Did you shoot it?
The presentation.
Yeah.
Yeah. I shot it as a proof of concept short story.
This is what he saw.
what he saw.
Okay,
and then
got
he
it.
had read the pilot.
And then he said, "Let's turn this into a feature."
That's turned into a film.
And is that what's happening now?
Yeah, no, it's like it happened through. So let's say I shot the teaser in 2012. I wrote the pilot in 2011. Come up with the idea while I'm living here in LA. I moved back to New York in 2012. Shoot the teaser. Throw the teaser on YouTube. Show Robert Siegel. Have him read my pilot. Says let's do this as a film. And then from 2012 up until 2015 when we shoot the film, and it's called Cruise. It winds up being called Cruise.
Awesome.
Because I
I'm
called
sorry,
it,
I misunderstood. So you shot this?
Yeah.
This is
As a
done.
feature.
Feature's
it's fun,
done.
yeah.
Oh,
Okay,
yeah.
this is
Emily
done.
Ratajkowski's
Okay, got
in
it.
it. Who's your lead actor?
Spencer Bowman,
Yeah.
Disney kid.
Yeah, it's
fun.
It's a period piece.
It's fun.
Yeah.
And where can we find that at?
That's on Hulu right now.
Hulu.
Yeah.
And were you were satisfied with that whole experience?
Very much so, because I learned that a lot of people in this business, how great the script, like if a writer writes a script, it really, you got to kind of like check your ego.
Yeah.
Like making a movie, there's got to be no egos involved, because a lot of my friends in the business, I don't want to say do have egos, but wind up self-sabotaging their project.
Yep.
So I don't want to say that I took a back seat in Cruise, because I didn't. Because I loved the way Rob wrote The Wrestler, and I loved the way he did Big Fan. And I'm like, he loves Saturday Night Fever. He's going to get it, and he did. So I'm like, you know what? I'm going to go take the 10 steps back so I can move 20 steps forward and be like, all right, he's going to write the screenplay and direct it. And I'm going to be a producer on it. It's going to be inspired by my life in Queens. And we're going to make a great movie. And we made a great movie.
That's smart, dude.
Congratulations.
That doesn't, a lot of people won't do that, but that's a smart
Exactly.
thing.
Because of the ego. I was like, no, there's no egos here.
No,
He's
if Rob wouldn't have been involved, would have been the same? Probably not, right?
Probably not.
Because you had somebody like him willing to say, I'll write this, I'll direct it.
Yeah.
I love what you've done. I love this idea. Let's just make it.
Yeah,
I'll write, direct.
What most people do is like, nah, you know what? Nah, I want to direct it.
Yeah.
Nah, I'm cool with it. Like, and you pass on it, and then your movie never gets made.
No, you never get. You're pitching for years.
And it's an incredible movie. Like Variety, gave it a great review when it came out. We had the premiere in L.A.
Yeah.
I mean, I know it was a New York Queens movie, but we had the premiere in L.A., which to me was a success because we had it at.
You want another beer, Gino?
I'll take one more beer. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll take one more Modelo.
Yeah. Yeah, 2 bottles. You good, David?
I'm good, thank you, brother.
You good? Okay. No, Emily
It's fun.
Ratajkowski's
It's fun. You'll enjoy it.
I'm gonna watch it this weekend.
It's fun.
But I think we talk about this a lot. We talk about having ideas and just getting them made however they need to be made so that you can move on to the next thing. Because obviously, as a creative person in this business, you just don't have one idea. I can see how it could be difficult if it's about you, if it's about your life.
Stepping away from it.
But you still got to do what you got to do. So
that took a lot of balls to step away.
But you're right. A lot of people say no to stuff, and stuff never gets made. It just sits on a shelf somewhere.
My proudest feeling was being in my neighborhood when the movie came out and throwing an event where the movie was shot and where the boulevard, where we cruised the boulevard, there's a restaurant there now. It's called the Boulevard, and it was like a venue. So I came up with the idea of you know what, the day the movie comes out in theaters and on platforms, let's throw a party. So I wound up throwing this party, and 300 people from the neighborhood came to the party, and we had an old school musical act that was in the film, and celebrated our childhood is how we used to just cruise, because whether you were in New York or Connecticut or Chicago or Boston, wherever you were from,
Chula Vista. I'm from Chula Vista. You
Ventura County. There was a lot of strips there and Sunset. Those days, hopping in your car listening to music, and the innocent days of just hanging out with your friends.
Yeah,
great music too.
Incredible.
The
80s.
best.
Mid to late 80s, right?
Yeah,
here?
the whole soundtrack is all free. We called it freestyle back in the 80s.
Yeah,
but a fantastic soundtrack too, and great music. And
when did that come out?
September 28th of 2018.
18. Yeah. So that was recent.
Yeah.
And what did you jump into next? What was the next thing?
Well, I said, you know what? Because I have the itching to direct, I wind up directing a short that was written by, he's from the Actors Studio. His name is a great actor, too, Joe Maruzzo. He's a playwright. He wrote a play 30 years ago called Bricklayer's Poet, about a bricklayer that walks into a bar and meets a poet. And it was a one-act play 30 years ago that he put out here in L.A., but he was part of the Actors Studio, and he was friends with my best friend, Catherine Narducci, and he's like, I want you to meet Joe Maruzzo. And he goes, I wrote this really cool play back in the day called Bricklayer's Poet. I'm like, my father was a bricklayer. He's retired. His father was a bricklayer, so I got attracted to it right away. So I read the play. It's 45 minutes long. It's a one-act play. And I'm like, let's do this as a short film. And we'll cut it down. And long story short, we wind up doing a short.
That's awesome. I want to see that. That sounds great.
Where can we see Bricklayers? Is there anywhere we can see it or not yet?
I still haven't really put it out there on the platforms because I'm still kind of doing the festival circuit. But I could definitely send it to you guys. You guys will love it. It's something that you don't think that I would direct or get involved with, but I was attracted to it because my dad was a bricklayer and his dad was a bricklayer.
Are you an actor in it?
No. The writer said, if you want to play Mikey the bricklayer, you go ahead. You can do whatever you want with this. I go, could. Again, ego. I was like, no, I like the material. You wrote this 30 years ago. You told me what inspired you to write it. Your dad passed away, and he was a bricklayer. And I'm like, you be the guy.
Yeah.
I just want to direct it. I want to show my directing skills working with actors. And the hardest part of that film was, it was in one location, in a bar. And it was very hard to pull off. Very hard. And I'm not
shooting out here in New York.
In New York. I'm not trying to toot my own horn, knock on wood. It's a fantastic short.
Yeah.
Getting the audience, every festival that I go to, the audience is that's very hard to do. One location, two people talking. I'm like, yeah.
Incredibly hard.
It drew in the audience for 20 minutes, and there's a great payoff.
Yeah.
I'm using that as kind of my little card in my back pocket to do the feature now.
Yeah. Well, great writing translates, Yeah,
fantastic.
Does, yeah.
The dialogue is fantastic. It's written amazing. I'm really proud of that film.
Yeah.
Even though again, you call it a short film, but to me, it's just a work of art.
Yeah, it's a piece of art.
Really, that I'm proud of because it's almost like a painting.
Yeah.
Like Cruise was like a fun, crowd pleaser, and a lot of things that I've worked on are crowd pleasers, and they're fun and they're entertaining. But there was something special about this because of the heart that was put into it.
Right.
I'm really proud of it. It's like it's got so many messages, and family and loneliness and loss, and just it's really beautifully made. And I wanted to do it just out of love.
Well, keep showing it. That's terrific. What's
I'm looking forward to is Fonzo. I'm looking forward to Fonzo. I've been looking.
I'm looking forward to.
You're
it
looking
also.
forward to
what's
Fonzo.
What's Fonzo?
Dude, Fonzo. Go ahead, Gino. I'll let you explain.
It's kind of like when I read the script. It's written and directed by an amazing friend and amazing director, Josh Trank, who did a film called Chronicle. He actually comes up with this amazing idea of let's do a movie about Al Capone, of his last 2 years of his life, what it was like to be Al Capone, and I didn't know that he was losing his mind, had syphilis,
yeah.
dementia, and was I kind of call it The Shining meets just picture a gangster as the character that Jack Nicholson losing his mind in his house,
and the most powerful gangster,
Al
most
Capone,
powerful man,
yeah,
you know what I mean, losing his mind.
I read the script and I was like, wow, this is fantastic. And then he tells me Tom Hardy wants to play Al Capone. I'm like, oh shit,
Tom Hardy,
I'm like,
as Al Capone.
Who's that?
And I wound up getting the phone call because. Again, you built those 10 years ago, building that relationship or working on a project.
Yeah.
He was a producer and editor on Big Fan.
Wow, I didn't really.
And I had fun with him at Sundance in 2009. And
so he watched you. He watched your work. He cut you together. And,
he could easily, and I know it, Josh, and I know because you could easily gave that role to any character actor that has a name, whatever that may mean these days, but. Yeah. That character could have went easily to one of these agents that has a client out here that would easily have taken that role,
of course,
and goes, no, I wrote that role for you.
Oh wow!
And I was like,
that's
and
dope.
I say thank you very much.
When is this coming out? Now I want to see this.
It's coming out this year.
I kind of got a lot of homework all of a sudden, right?
Yeah.
It's
Matt
really good.
Dillon's in it too.
Matt Dillon,
Matty
Linda
D.
Cardellini. Yeah,
Love that
Matty
guy.
D. Great
Matty
guy,
D.
Met fan. Catherine Narducci. You got Noel Fisher, Al Sapienza, Kyle MacLachlan. Did I say Linda Cardellini? I did.
Yeah.
That's an amazing cast.
Oh no, it's a cool cast. It's
I
a
follow it
really
on-
cool
on
cast. Yeah, it's
Instagram.
good.
Sounds like a great movie.
You've never seen Al Capone losing his mind. It's always been the cool Al Capone.
Yeah,
This is
yeah.
oh shit, this is what happens
Well,
at the end of your life.
You're downplaying your trajectory, dude. But you've you definitely have always been on the ladder going up for sure.
Yeah.
It seems like you're on the verge of really breaking out. It sure feels that way anyway from here.
I think
it does
Fonzo-
feel like that, and it looks like that on the surface. But
When he gets home, he's in a fetal position.
you feel like things
Like
are you look
Ace
at the
Ventura.
exterior, like things are going great, but you just.
Yeah.
It's
Just
a
keep
grind.
doing the work.
It's a grind.
Keep doing the work.
It's the work.
It's a
It's the work.
grind.
And I'm here for a premiere. I'm tomorrow I got a screening of a film that I did a couple of years ago called Nation's Fire, directed by Thomas Churchill. That's screening. I haven't seen it yet. We did that 2 years ago. We shot it in L.A. It's called Nation's Fire, and it's screening at the Landmark tomorrow. So that's why I'm in town for
Wait, I think
work.
I heard of this movie. Who's in this?
Bruce Dern, Gil Bellows, Krista Grady,
Yeah, I was
myself,
I just
Paul
read about it.
Sloan.
Yeah.
Who else?
Oh, Paul Sloan.
yeah. He's a great guy.
Yeah.
Dude, Bruce Dern, man, he just keeps going,
Yeah,
and
man.
going,
I was
and going.
I was like, and he really really loves the backstory of this film. So, I play a biker. Well, again, I props to the director who cast me as his biker,
Right.
character. It's kind of good and bad in the film. I don't want to give the film away, no spoilers here, but I got to do some fun stuff in this film, and so I'm excited to see Sometimes it's watching your work. I'm not that weird actor. Be I don't want to see what I look like, doing the work. I'll watch it, but I do get a little weirded out. It's something, if actors don't get weirded out by you,
Then you're not normal.
It's
I get weirded out watching him work. Is that weird?
So I'm kind of
Stupid ass.
So I'm kind of curious to see how my work comes across, as the work. So
I'm sure it's going to be great. So you're watching that. You're in town for business. Fonzo's coming, which sounds unbelievable.
coming, yes.
And then what's next?
I want to direct a feature. A writer is currently writing a script about a dive bar in New York. It's New Year's Eve, 1999. Something crazy happens.
Yeah,
at the
man,
bar,
year
man.
2000,
that.
right?
And that I was inspired by being in a dive bar a month ago.
Is it your story?
No, I
No.
just came up with
Oh, you-
the kind of the backdrop of
Okay. So
I'll
you had
come up
something
with
to do with the idea.
Yeah, I was like, I sat and I told the writer, I go, I want to do something again in minimal locations.
Yeah.
Picture like a dive bar, like really seedy dive bar, where like, because I was at a dive bar and I'm like looking around, I'm going, holy shit! I'm like, I'm 50. I don't look 50, by the way.
Yeah.
We don't have any visual, but I don't look 50.
There's gonna be
seeing-
visual. Don't worry.
Oh, okay. And then I'm like, wait a second, man. I'm like, I'm looking around the room and I'm going, I'm 50, and I see people in my age, younger, older, and it's really, like, it's kind of sad because you're like, who's doing drugs still?
Yeah.
Who's like drunk? Who's arguing? Who's listening to music? Who's lonely? Who's just like sitting there like drowning his sorrows in whiskey? And I'm going, this is really sad. Like, it's sad that it's still it goes on across the country. There's some dive bar with some sad soul sitting there, sulking himself and stuff. So I'm like, you know what? I want to do a movie about a dive bar, and call up this writer, and I'm like, would you do on spec? Most likely going to direct this as a micro feature. I checked out a studio here in LA. I'm like, oh, I can get that studio. It's already got the bar, and it's got this, and it's got that. Minimal locations, and I can have it for how long? 10 days, a week?
Yeah.
Like, I want to do a feature. Like, so I'm like kind of like planting the seeds and waiting for the script to come through. And if I'm happy with the script, I'll probably be here in the spring shooting a feature.
Nice.
Is there a part for
Very
this
nice.
dude or this
Very
dude?
I'm sure. I'm sure.
Well,
I'm
Alright,
sure.
good.
I know how this goes. Like,
Yeah,
if there's something that fits,
That
I'm
fits,
in. But
exactly. See, I
but
like
no,
what you said there.
yeah,
If it fits, because
it
people are like,
fits.
well, you know what? I'm going to change the hair color. I'm going to make
No,
him like it fits
no.
the story.
I know. I'm a filmmaker too, dude. If there's something that fits, I'm all about it. If you do not fit the thing, dude, you can't be a dick and be like, oh, I could do that. No, you can't do it. Don't be an asshole.
You say you could do it all the time, though.
Again, but because it's about the work, so I want to kind of like, like not run, but like walk. Yeah, I did the short.
Yeah.
I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna do a feature, but I'm not gonna go spend $1 million on a feature. And I wrote another script about a female DJ, which I know will probably wind up being the writer and the producer on it, but I want to put it in the hands of a female director, most likely, and use that as kind of like the Hollywood project, the studio movie, versus like the micro storytelling script that I want to do as a director.
So
And I'm not going to name
no
drop.
one's gonna give me $5 million to go direct a movie.
No.
Unless again you're
Well, you
related
do have,
to-
you do
related and
have
you have the
people
money.
who have name recognition who believe in you.
Right.
That's the thing.
Yes,
You
and,
do
and,
have
and they'd be
that.
like, you know what? You do talk the talk. You did cruise.
Yep.
You did your short. You
Yeah.
always say you're going to cover the bases, and I
Yeah.
always do. And I don't paint any like bad like picture of like overpromise and underachieve. I'm like, this is what it is. I
Yep.
can't. This is what either the price is going to be. This is what I have to make the film, whether it's a short or a feature. You're going to want to get involved because we're working on the same goal. Let's do it. Like, I'm meeting a DP tomorrow because he had the balls enough to be like, you know what? I heard about this feature that you want to do, that you're going to do in the future. Like, and I'm a video, a commercial and video director, music video director, and I heard about you, and I want to work with you, and I want to talk about what you're doing. I don't care if it's a micro, but I want to work with you, and I want to do a feature. I want to shoot a feature.
I want to do the
Check
work.
that as real. I'm like, yo, dude, this guy's good.
Yep.
And like, I'm meeting with him so I could like plant the seed of like, when I do get, which I will get, minimal funds to shoot this feature,
Yeah.
he's the one that like came through.
Yeah.
He had the balls on to be like, I'm going to email him,
Right.
like, because something becomes of something if you
meant to
follow up
be,
on
yeah.
it. Yeah.
do you think has the business and the way it's changed so much in the past year, has it changed how you plan on making your movies or selling your movies or putting out your movies?
1,000%.
Yeah. What? I guess before the plan was you make them and there's always someone that picks them up, but now the way it's happening is very different. Is the festival circuit a big part of your plan?
Yes, if it's a festival that makes sense,
Right.
Because I know every festival has stories that they want to tell. It's not like they don't like your film,
Right.
It's not for.
It's what they're about that year.
It's what what's the theme of your festival that year, and if someone wants to do like a heist movie and they it's a totally different subject festival, you can have a heist movie that's great, but it's not because they didn't take your movie because it wasn't great. It was
Right.
That's not the theme of their festival. Right. To answer your question, yes, if it was those prestigious films that festivals that were looking for films that were like, oh, okay, that fits,
Because
and
then
it
they're
is
marketing for you, right?
Right.
Yeah. Otherwise,
Right.
you just get lost.
Yeah.
Right. Like 10 years ago, 20 years ago, you're making movies and you're like, oh, eventually it'll get picked up or it'll get picked up. There's a a revenue outlet for.
You'll make a video deal, and you'll get DVD deal, and right.
These video directors today are not feature directors. Like they got their lane. They're making good money, but we're like, I'm not going to dip into features because the features are like this, but most of like the directors that we love today were all like video directors. Like Fincher was a video director, right? And Spike Jonze, it's very different now.
I love that you're out there doing your thing. Nothing's stopping you, obviously, which is a big theme on the show.
I got my peaks and everyone's got these peaks and valleys of like the up days and down days. But what keeps me up is my daughter. So props to my daughter Athena, who
nice.
She's starting to like love movies now. Like I love taking her to check out trailers and posters. Like I said, this would be like Candyland for her. I've seen all the billboards.
Oh, right.
Because she loves looking at the posters and being like, okay, Daddy, when's that coming out? I go, it's coming out February 14th. So she's infatuated with like the poster, the character, or the name of the movie, and when it's coming out.
Yeah.
So like I'll quiz her now. I'll be like, okay, so when's Sonic? Like I don't want to plug movies, but when's Sonic come out? She's like February 14th. And when's Doolittle coming out? She's like January 17th. And when she wants to see movies like The Invisible Man and like The Turning. She's 6. She's 6.
That's fun.
But 2 years ago, taking her to the movies, I'd be lucky if I lasted 5 minutes in the theater with her.
Right.
I've been to Frozen 2 in the theater 5 times already. Because she wants to see the trailers.
That's cute.
Because she wants to see the trailers.
One more thing, Gino. I remember we had a conversation. This was really kind of cool. We were talking at the bar here at Pink Taco a few months ago, and you were saying about a writer who had a bunch of scripts that never got made. And you were like, dude, it's pretty... I think that's a film in itself.
Yeah.
Dude, this talented writer who just couldn't get...
Take it easy.
Take it easy. Who couldn't get it done. He likes Big Time Tommy.
You know what? He was almost in
Tommy.
Cruise. Let me tell you, Big Time Tommy.
What? He was the one saying, take it easy?
No, he would... Listen, listen, the director said, I want to get that guy, I want to put him in a movie. And he was like, I couldn't find him. But then when I did find him, but this is 2015, before the Instagram and like all that. And then when I did find him, it was like too late. They already casted somebody else, but they wanted him, like the director wanted him in Cruise.
Oh, wow.
Because he has just a character and stuff. He's such a character.
Big Time Tommy.
Yeah.
I love that
Instagram.
Love that guy.
Big Time Tommy.
Oh
that's
my
fun.
God.
What was that writer's name? Because that's one of as a writer, that's heartbreaking. You know that, right? Like, this dude wrote all these scripts that are great. Nothing ever got made.
Well,
and
you know what? I
just
don't want to say
kinda
who the writer was, but
Okay,
you know what?
yeah,
He's a
yeah.
fantastic writer. But what made me realize that
Shakespeare.
I bet there's stuff that was left on the side that were like. But could you imagine that back in like even the 80s and 90s, all movies that weren't made, and like I was watching this documentary on Netflix, and like all these scripts were kind of like going in a dumpster.
Yeah.
Like, but I'm sure in this town right now, there's a script sitting somewhere that would win the Academy Award if it fell into the right hands.
I've been telling this guy he doesn't want to read
It's
my
out
shit.
there. It's out there sitting on a shelf
Yeah.
somewhere. It's like finding like that magic ticket, like the Willy Wonka. Like it's like there's a script. Like so, if it's collecting dust and you still believe in it, if it's relevant or if it has legs, which it probably does, it just has been falling into the right lap.
Three Kings was a script that was sitting in the vault in Warner Brothers. And the director, the director
David
came
Russell.
in and he was like, "Let me just go through like your library." And
See,
he
I didn't
started
even know that.
He started looking through stuff and he found Three Kings and he was like, started reading through it, pulled it out, said, "We're making this."
It was a Civil War movie, though. That's how crazy it was.
Wow.
No, I'm joking.
Well, there's an
That's
there's
awesome.
an option that's running out in March.
So you're right. There's
There's
stuff
something out there,
right?
and there's an option running out in March on a Christmas script I came across.
What?
Oh, we're all about Christmas scripts.
It's okay. Offline, off the air. I'm going to tell you about this Christmas script that it's been kind of like on my
It's not
side.
going to be off the air, but go ahead. Go ahead. All right, off the air.
Hey,
Two locations.
Yeah.
Fantastic concept.
oh,
He's a Christmas king right here. He doesn't
love
I'm not
Christmas.
a Christmas
He's
king.
the burrito
Oh,
king.
since we're on
He's a
since we're on the
burrito
Christmas thing, let me ask you guys:
Yeah.
Is Die Hard a Christmas movie?
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Oh, we had this
1,000%.
conversation.
Yeah, it is
See,
a Christmas movie.
It's Christmas themed.
No. Hey,
It's not a Christmas
Hey,
movie.
listen. Take the jingle balls out of your mouth.
No.
It's a Christmas movie, brother.
Family Man is a Christmas movie, okay? It's a Wonderful
Hey,
Life is a Christmas movie.
Also,
Speaking of Christmas movies, I need to ask you if you've heard of a company called ExtremeMusic.com.
Why do I see the logo? Like I know the logo. Like I've seen the logo.
ExtremeMusic.com is a library of music.
you should look into it, especially as a filmmaker, Gino. You can type in whatever you want, and it'll pop up, like the type of music. So when you're doing your film, instead of you couldn't go to a music supervisor if you want, but you really don't need it with Extreme Music, because you can go in, type in whatever you want, and then just go through and pick, and you can do your whole movie, all the music right there on Extreme Music.
I'll give you an example. I did Russ Emanuel, who used to be a rock star.
He kind of still is a rock star.
And we like to say that he's still.
And Hans Zimmer,
when we have him here, when we have him on the show, he should bring his guitar, right?
That'd be
Let's
dope.
have
Could
Russ
you
bring
imagine
his
if
guitar.
yeah.
That'd be fun. But Russ was involved in music and decided to start working with composers and created this website that houses all these composers and their music, and they write. Some of them write specifically and only for Extreme Music. They make that much money on their music from this site.
So did you use the music in your film?
No,
I
he
didn't know
didn't,
about
but
it
I
yet.
did.
Yeah,
but
he
I
used
did.
it in his.
I did a whole documentary, and what I did was I went to extrememusic.com, and I would, like, for the dramatic scenes, the ones where the cops are chasing someone or someone's being arrested or there's any kind of tension, I punched in tension, action, thriller, and thousands of songs came up, and I would sit there every night for hours, and I'd listen. Oh, I like that, and I'd grab
You just gave me a little nugget.
right.
Yeah.
That's
and
a nugget.
I would,
huge nugget.
I am such a huge fan of like how important music is.
I would grab the song, put it in a file that said thriller, right, for certain scenes. And then there was this one point where he meets a girl, and he comes out of the dark after this massive depression. So I punched in new romance, fresh romance, sun coming up, just any words that I can come up with that had to do with fresh, new romances. And thousands of songs, and I would listen, and each time I liked something, I would take it and put it in a bin. And then my editor would come in the next day, and he'd have a bin for every scene that I had picked all the music for. Now, I didn't pick each song for the scene. I just picked a bunch of songs that he got to then be creative. So he didn't have to go sit there. But what I loved about it is that I did 97 cues, all of them from Extreme Music. I made one deal. Joel High, who is his music supervisor, he made a deal with Russ for me on behalf of the movie, and I paid one lump sum for all of the songs, and I have them in the movie in perpetuity, anywhere I want them to go. I need to create a cue sheet to deliver with it, but everything was done through Extreme Music, and the price was really a lot less than I would have paid
You would have hired
than if
somebody
I
to
would
do
have
it.
had a...
like I said, you gave me a little nugget.
Yeah, it's very cool. You should check it out. I used it on a bunch of movies. I used it on a TV show called Mexico's Next Top Model. All my music was for there, mainly because Sony bought Russ's company. So Sony owns ExtremeMusic.com, and now Russ is expanding it by creating other companies where he's a partner with Hans Zimmer.
Hans Zimmer.
They do The
Who's that?
Simpsons.
Come on.
They do The Simpsons. They won Emmys for Planet Earth. And anyway, it's a great thing. Check it out. ExtremeMusic.com.
1000%.
Yeah, ExtremeMusic.com for all your music needs.
But also to just a little outside the box too, because you said what else are you up to next? I'm hands-on right now. I'm writing a children's book for my daughter, inspired by my daughter.
Really?
That's great.
Yeah, I love that.
Yeah, because my daughter, God bless her, she's hearing impaired, so she wears hearing aids. So I came up with an idea of a little girl based on my daughter.
Oh, that's great.
Who communicates she lives at a marina with her family, who communicates like the sea animals by the marina with her hearing aids. And I pitched it to a publisher, and we're in the midst of like getting it together.
That's terrific.
Kind of like, but again, be inspired like wholeheartedly because I just want to do it because I just love my kid so much.
Your art comes from your life.
Yeah.
From
Right?
your heart.
That's
Yeah.
neat.
Yeah.
Yeah, so when people found out that I was like doing that, they were like, "Wow, you kind of like." I said, if something really like tugs in my heart, like
Yeah.
I want to I pull wholeheartedly into it. Like Bricklayer's Poet from the heart, Cruise because it was my childhood.
Yeah.
Right.
You may again, I don't really look at it that way, but when I hear it from somebody, I'm like,
Dude,
yeah,
you're
right, it
doing
comes
you're
from my
doing
life.
things that move you, that inspire you, that are memorable to you, things that you know about. That's cool because I'm the opposite. I run away from anything that has to do with my my life.
So stupid. You kind of do. And this whole podcast is about inspiration. Fool.
My whole thing is about high concept. As
here we go with the high fucking concept again. If I have to hear another high fucking concept thing,
that's what it's all about for me.
Let me tell you.
Well, you know what? Again, just off the record, the Christmas script. That's that option is a high concept script.
High concept, and he's all about that.
The high concept with with 3 big marketable things, and one location.
That's amazing.
Can you do it, Robert? Can you do it?
I'm just waiting for the right person to hear this because it's pretty good.
I'm thinking there's going to be a pitch.
You heard it
this.
here.
There's going to be a pitch when the show ends.
And I don't drag on with pitches either. It's like quick. This is what it is, and I'm like,
Robert, think
if
of
they
this.
if they don't understand
North
that
Pole,
this is like a
Santa,
smart move,
Rudolph,
because
and a
I got
snowman.
all the
there you go.
marketing covered. It covers.
I like it.
3 huge.
What
things.
happens to the snowman? He's going to melt.
Things.
Yeah. I got one last thing to ask you, Gino.
You've already said that. You've already said that.
Yes, I will be honest.
Do you still have the picture of Hollywood that was in your cubicle?
It's crazy that you say that. Oh my God, it's crazy you say that. I just found it like a week ago in like a bin in my apartment in New York, and I go, you know what? I got to put this back up, and it's on a cork board.
Yeah.
In front of me in my bedroom. Yeah, I put it up.
Yeah,
and
you
I'm
should
looking
smile
at it.
when you look at it now.
You know what?
Smile when you look at it now.
I put it up, and I actually showed a friend of mine through FaceTime the other night. I'm like, look what I put up. I put up the actual image that I printed off a printer of Hollywood, the Hollywood sign, like greenery around it. It doesn't even look like the actual Hollywood. It does, but it does. It's like an animated version of the Hollywood sign. It's up in my bedroom.
There we go.
Yeah, it's so weird that you say that because I brought that from my cubicle to I lived on Fountain and Orange in Ogden, around that area. Had it in my apartment with my roommate. When I moved back, I put it in I guess I moved it back when I moved back to New York. Had it in a bin. And just recently took it out of a bin. And I go, holy shit, let me put this back up because I feel inspired and juiced up again.
Yeah.
There we go.
I really do. Just when I think I know some things you're out of your control. Like, let's not get into the Oscar snubs, but sometimes it's out of your control.
Yeah.
But you feel energized.
Yeah.
Like every now and then, you get that peak, and you get the valley. But I feel very inspired.
Well, you have a terrific story. You come a long way from Queens. And look, if you're listening, there's never the same road, right? We all take different roads to get to where we're going. So I think there's a lot of inspiration in your story. You continue to do your thing. Hopefully, the next time we meet up, you will have a huge success. Do you have any parting words for people that are out there struggling, trying to get their stuff done?
What I've been saying the last couple of years, I was like, I want to do this, and I have this idea, and I got this idea, and like an idea is just an idea. There's 1,000 ideas out there. If you follow through on your idea, just follow through. Just follow through on what you want to do. Because a lot of people just do it. Like you don't. This is where I'm getting at. Like you don't have to know how to do it. Just believe in your heart you're going to do it.
Yep.
When I was 13 and I was like, well, I'm going to work on this and work that. My first professional acting job was an extra on A Bronx Tale. I got paid like $30. I wasn't in a union.
With Lilo?
Yeah. But I was watching Lilo and I was like, I want to be that. Like when Denio was directed, I'm like, oh my God. And I was like this bullshit. I say bullshit now, but I think about it. I'm like, I was an extra. I just got paid $30, but I was there.
You were there.
I was there.
You were on set.
If you want to do something, like really, just like you don't know how you don't know or have to know how to do it. Just believe in your heart that you can do it.
Yeah.
Damn.
Do it, man.
Act like you know.
That's real talk.
That's real talk. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for listening to us on Let's Get Into It. And we'll see you next
Why
time
do you know my chips, Roberts?
on Let's Get Into It.
Take it easy.
Gino! Good stuff, my brother.
I could have went on for hours talking about movies. I love talking shop.